Hard fight. I fought the best in the world, been the best in the world 5 times. Yes, I'm getting older too, day by day. That's how it is.
The way it all started with Johnny Bradle. They sent Johnny Bradle to train with me. He was a world champion. And so I started training him, and he brought Mikkel with him. I saw Mikkel, you know, and he was, I put him to box. I want to test the little white boy and see what he had, you know. So I put him with Afalabi. He beat Ola, you know, he beat him up. And I said, wait a minute, this kid's got something, you know.
Sometimes I hate training, but for the most of the time, I love it.
Get him, John. Go get him. Go get him. Yeah, hey. Hey, he's got better moves than Mikkel. Get him, John.
I'm not getting that hungry anymore when I'm not fighting the best in the world. I have to fight the best, or will not be in the game anymore.
I'm getting the best I can out of him. When you got natural talent, it doesn't take long to expose it. You get a guy with natural talent, he can do almost anything.
I'm doing a lot of my mistakes in the last fight. Getting hit too much. Actually, I would say I have to get my arms more up and move my head more. Hey. This is it, now or never. Let's get it on and see who's the champ.
After all the hard work, this is what will greet the two men, the O2 Arena here in London. One man who's been in camp is with Richie Woodall, with Ed Robinson ringside.
That's right, Richie Woodall works with the GB amateurs at the EIS in Sheffield. What's it like watching Carl Froch train for a fight like this up close, Richie?
It's a privilege, to be quite honest, because he is a thorough professional. Right from when he walks into the gym, wrapping his hands, he'll spend ages wrapping his hands, the warm-up, and then when he goes to work with Rob McCracken, yeah, they mean business, and he trains a long time. So, yeah, it's thorough. Everything he does, he's a thorough kid.
He's 35 years of age. Does he have the same intensity training as he did a few years ago?
Yeah, I think he does, because he keeps himself in great condition. So he lives the life outside the ring, you see. I mean, he eats well, and so he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, you don't pick up a paper and see him in a pub anywhere, nothing like that. So he looks after himself. And if you look at Bernard Hopkins going on to 48, well, it's similar to Carl Froch. He just keeps going, he's in great condition. And I think his body is used to that type of training now, and he's getting more seasoned and hardened to it.
But a fighter like Carl, who's always so disciplined, how does he find an extra 10% for a fight like this?
I think you'll probably find an extra 20% for this contest, literally because it's the revenge factor. That will play a massive part in this, because it's evenly balanced, remember, because Kessler is a very good fighter himself, so it's very even. But yeah, I think he'll put another 15-20% on his performance, the crowd, home advantage, and it's that revenge. He wants this win. I've been watching him, and he always trains extremely hard for every fight, but there's something different about Carl Froch this time. Mentally, he's really switched on.
Of course, he's training with that Olympic team who did so well in London 2012. That must help to gear him up.
Yeah, it does, because I think Robert McCracken's a very clever trainer in that, you know, he'll put 2 or 3 sparring partners in with him who are very, very quick. So it's always fresh legs in with Carl Froch. But I've watched Carl spar, and sometimes he doesn't start warming up till after 6 or 7 rounds. So I think what's important for this is he's got to start early, Ed. But I think he will do. I think that's a part of their tactic here tonight.
Thank you, Richie.
Cheers, boys. He's nearly 36 years of age now, Carl Froch. Is he at the peak of his powers?
I believe so. I think he proved that against Lucia Bute. I think he really did. Now he's
fought as many good ones as Froch has. You go back a long way to find a fighter who's fought back-to-back good opponents.
Yep.
Most fighters, they'll fight a top
title fight on the spin.
So you'll fight a good opponent, then you might have an easy one. You know, just because you deserve it, he's not called for it. He needs the challenge. He needs to be in big fights.
And it's not fair, because you know what, you've got to put him in the mix of Joe Kazaki, Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank. He's up there with the lot of them. He may not be as loud and brash outside the ring as these guys, but he's as talented, if not more talented, than one or two of those.
He's pacing them down, just going through his last-minute drills here, David.
Yeah, I've been in the change room before a few of his fights, and this is him. This is him before he goes to war. It's the quiet before the storm. It really is. When you're in there, I can see that look in his eye. He's there. He knows the hard work's been done. He's sitting there knowing that he's not cut any corners anywhere. Because if he had cut any corners, this is when he would be nervous now.
That's where you panic.
This is where you panic. You think,
Is that Ricky Gervais?
Ricky Gervais. Big fight fan, of course.
Go on, son. Well, you see, it's attracted everybody and anybody to this. You know, even if you're a casual viewer of boxing, he has captured the imagination of most people because they know what they're going to get.
Is it the boy next door appeal, like Ricky has?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. The only difference between him and Ricky is, you know what, he lives a clean life. He doesn't want to go out drinking and blowing up to 2 or 3 stone over his weight, and you think, you know what, we are going to get value here, like we did with Ricky in his heyday.
I've been on holiday with Carl Froch maybe 4 or 5 months before.
He has holidays?
Yeah, he has holidays before 4 or 5 months before a fight, and he's not drinking, he's watching what he eats, and this is when he's got fights months away in head. Just in the thought, if he knows there's a fight in head, he really does live the life.
Kessler's not been quite as active, but he proved against Brian McGee how good he can be, Glenn.
It was a powerful performance. I mean, Carl was in the studio that night watching it. And,
no one stopped McGee that quick, 3 rounds.
No, it was the way he did it. He looked a level above Brian McGee, and not many people do that. You know, Carl had a tough fight with Brian McGee. But the one thing that we saw here was, I mean, Carl doesn't have weaknesses as such.
No, you can't do Carl a body shot like that.
I think a body shot, Andre Ward made him wince a couple of times with a body shot. His teeth tossed around the jaw, but everybody's human, you know. This is where Kessler has a good chance. Trying to soften that body early. It might not take him out, but it might stop the big attacks that he had against
Carl's particular low hand style. His left hand's quite low, protecting his body. Yeah. So if he somehow brings his hands up to protect his head, which he looks like he's been doing it in training, the body could be exposed.
My only worry about Carl is he's very easy to hit. He can take a shot. He's very easy to hit in the body. He's very easy to hit on the chin. And with Mikkel Kessler's power and accuracy, and he seems to have calmed his style down a little bit, he'll catch Carl.
He's not that easy to hit on the body.
You don't think?
No.
Every fight I've seen him get shot.
No.
There's a Viking Warrior in the ring tonight. There's one outside the ring as well with Adam Smith.
There certainly is. We heard from one Manchester United star a little earlier, Wayne Rooney, who's just sat behind watching the boxing. Peter Schmeichel, former great here and a good mate of Mikkel Kessler's, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm very, very nervous now. I've been very confident for a very long time. I went on your program. I think I was a bit bold there. And I've been tweeting about this fight for the last sort of week. Come on, Kessler, you know, Kessler's a favourite. I have to say, coming into the arena today, you know, think about it. It is Carl Froch he's fighting today, so I'm still confident that he can do the job, but it's not going to be as easy as I thought.
Having seen the piece on Thursday and hearing your voice now, I can really feel the nerves. There's tension, isn't there, at ringside?
I mean, this is incredible. And you walk into this arena. It's a great arena. The atmosphere will be electric in here. But I can't remember. I mean, I lived in England for so many years now. I cannot remember a fight that's had so much PR. It's been talked about everywhere you go. And this might just be because one of the guys in here is a Danish guy that I pay more attention, but I don't think so. I really think this has been billed as one of the best fights for a very, very long time.
You know him. How's Mikkel going to deal with the crowd, the 18,000 people? How's he going to cope with that? And how will he go about business tonight?
Well, I think he's going to go about business in the way he's always gone about business. He's very well prepared. He's never been fitter in his life. Mikkel always feels he's got something to prove. I don't know why, but he always feels that he's got something to prove, and he will come and bring that in today. He knows that he can beat Carl Froch because he's already done that. He was absolutely magnificent in the first fight in Herning.
Is he
as good now? He's much more mature. He's had more big fights since that. I think that's important. Carl Froch was a very, very big fight for him when he first came around in Herning, and he's had big fights since. He's at a big stage now. There's a lot of interest in this fight from America, for instance. This is something relatively new for Mikkel. So you know, the experience with all that has made him a better fighter. And I'll tell you what, you know, it's so even Steven this. It can go either way. Of course, I'm rooting for Mikkel because he's a good friend, but you know, this is going to be, if it's going to be 80% of the quality of what the Champions League final was, we're in for a really, really big treat tonight.
You really know your boxing. Make your prediction.
I think that points again.
Great seeing you, Peter. You're welcome back to the...
The stars have come out to play. We've seen Wayne Rooney. We've seen Peter Schmeichel. The Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan I can make out in the light there. Luke Campbell, Olympic gold medalist. Relaxed and ready. He'll be hoping for big nights like this. Lee Evans, the comedian, ringside tonight as well. And EastEnders stars Jay Wood and Shane Ritchie all soaking in the big fight atmosphere. A turbocharged atmosphere it is, created by this 18,000 sellout crowd, packed inside this iconic O2 Arena here in the capital. One of the highlights of a magical sporting weekend. The Warriors preparing for battle.
Tremendous onslaught. Watching him up again now. He's making some statement now. He's got his man right where he wants it. A dramatic win for Mikkel Kessler. That was fine jingling stuff. Another cracking round of action. Look at Trump. And it is chopped up. That was exceptional.
The big fight is fast approaching. A big cauldron of noise very, very shortly. Adam Smith is out celeb spotting. Who you got with you, Adam?
Well, it's not just the footballers, but the world champion who brought it all back to the Crucible this year, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Good to see you ringside. Looking forward to this?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, looking forward to it. Big fight. So.
Carl said to us in the build-up that he looks up to you as a bit of a hero, because I think the secret is that he once played snooker back in the day, but wasn't very good.
I know, I never knew that until you mentioned it, but I think he chose the right sport in the end.
What do you like about Carl? What is it that he brings to the ring that 18,000 people are so excited about seeing tonight?
He's obviously, just a great all-rounder, got a great chin, value for money, and I think that's what the punters of why so many people come out to watch him, because, wears his heart on his sleeve.
Mikkel Kessler, obviously, the better of him. Do you think?
I don't know. It's a lot of it's on the night. Two great fighters, but I think Carl has had a better momentum since their last fight. So I'm going for Carl to win, but it'll be a great fight.
Ronnie, enjoy it. Great seeing you.
Ronnie O'Sullivan ringside with Adam Smith. Stars turned out for your fight. Were you in awe of anyone who came to?
I remember around the Holyfield when I had my unification fight. Of all the people, the only other guy who became the cruiserweight champion, then heavyweight champion. I remember him coming to my fight, and someone saying to me in the change, "Oh, Holyfield's there." And I'm thinking, I'm a hero. The only guy to go up to heavyweight.
He could never be the best. Any man that wear Hugh Hefner's jazz.
It shows the magnitude of this fight, though, that such big names are here.
Oh, you just have to look out there. This is a big occasion, this is a big fight. This is as big as it gets, isn't it? You've got two excellent fighters, two world champions, squaring off. They're both in the prime. There's no excuses. It's a 50-50 fight. I'm just glad to be here.
Final thoughts on Froch. How's he going to deal with Kessler this time around? What does he have to do differently, do you think?
I think he's going to thrive on this fight. I think he's going to drag. I think he should make Mikkel Kessler work from the off, because we know the last quarter of a fight is when Carl comes into his own. We know he's very strong, very good over the long distance. Make Kessler give us his best for the first 6 rounds, first 8 rounds at least, so he has to work and digging hard, and in doing that, Carl will take over. His best will measure up to Carl's, and then Carl will take over.
It's about what happens early on. I think, you know, it's who takes control the quickest. They're going to take off where they left off, and that's all action. And, you know, I'm looking forward to it. But Carl's got to get the centre of the ring. Really, really important.
I think both of them know it's going to be a long fight. So I think you've got to get the rounds in the bank as early as possible. You can't afford to be 3-0 down going into the 4th round. You need to get the rounds in the bank, guaranteed.
And I don't think Kessler's style will change that much. I do think Carl's will. We've seen Carl's style change. Instead of single shots, it's 3, 4, 5 shots, and then bounce back on the end and not give him a rest. So Carl's style will have changed for the better for this fight.
Do you hear the roar go up when you're in the dressing room? Will this noise be coming through?
At the moment, the one thing I noticed about the O2, you don't hear the crowd when you're in the changing room. You only hear it as you walk through that tunnel. It's a real, I don't know how the acoustics are set, but you don't hear it in the changing room. And it's going to, all of a sudden, particularly in Mikkel Kessler, when he comes out to the roar of coos, that will be something he's never had to deal with in his life.
And Carl will be in the ring first, and he'll have the lift and the cheers of all the crowd. Mikkel Kessler will come out, he'll see Carl stood there, he'll hear the boos, and all of a sudden it's all negatives. And he's got to G himself up. He's got to start thinking negatively. And that's what will make a difference.
Neither one of these cares about being in the lion's den. You know, the two fighters, they thrive on it. Mikkel Kessler, this'll build him up. He's beat him at home, now he wants to beat him away.
It's the Warriors' call. They are 2 Warriors. They've achieved everything pretty much there is to achieve in this sport.
Without a doubt, you know, all we've got to do is look at Carl Froch's resume, particularly out of the 2 of them. He's had tough fight after tough fight. You say this is a 50 fight. His last fight, 10 fights have been 50-50 fights. So when he fought Jermaine Taylor, that was a 50-50.
Every fight.
Arthur Abraham's another 50-50. Every single fight is a 50-50. And he's accustomed to being in these types of these fights. And I believe Carl Froch is that has been the difference.
There's not an empty seat in the house. There's not many fights you will get in the UK, apart from David, of course, that will fill a house like this. That's how special it is. It attracts everybody, from actors to sportsmen to anybody and everybody, because it's fascinating.
This is pretty much as big as it gets. England against Denmark. Champion against champion. Gladiator against gladiator.
We're old friends, Mikkel Kessler and I.
2 real warriors here.
And old enemies. Carl Froch and I bared our souls in combat.
Not a lot between them. Look at the action now. Left hook from Kessler. And a crowd on their feet there. You just can't take your eyes off a Carl Froch fight.
We're bound together after sharing 12 of the most brutal, violent rounds in modern times.
Blood pouring from Froch's eye as well as Kessler's. 2 gladiators giving it their all.
No one will forget that fight.
Lefts and rights. Another cracking round of action. And it is top stuff.
And no one will forget this rematch.
Froch by far looking the stronger. Desperation tactics. Tremendous finish from Froch, but on that card, he needs the knockout and he hasn't got it. Mikkel Kessler with a terrific performance.
History will remember that I took Carl's unbeaten record. And then I beat him again.
No, history will remember that I put things right and avenged a close defeat.
The better man on the night has the victory.
May the best man win.
Don't worry, he will.
2 of the world's best are about to collide. Froch has revenge on his mind. Kessler aiming to prove he's the better man home and away. It's a very special main event, 3 years on from their brutal first battle on Danish soil. They do it all over again here in London. The O2 of fever pitch. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Our MC is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. Now, coming to the ring, the three-time world champion from Nottingham. London, are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carl, the Cobra
Give us an insight. What's a walk to the ring like on a night like this? You had a few of them in Glasgow.
No, this is okay now because you are now in the zone. When you're in the dressing room, you get time to think of other things. You know, your bad days in sparring, times you didn't feel quite 100%. But now you're on the job. Now you're in business. Now it's time to switch on, as I say, get in the zone, and this is the time you can actually enjoy.
Getting a great reception, but now, of course, he has to wait for Kessler to come in. They are both holding versions of the world title. Kessler holding the WBA version. Froch has the IBF title. He won by demolishing Lucien Boutte a year ago against the odds in Nottingham. A stellar performance But this feels like the biggest night of his career. It feels like a real happening here at the O2. He talks about unleashing hell, but Kessler's planning the same kind of thing, isn't he?
Yep, of course he is, but one little edge I give to Froch. He's the one who initiated this rematch. He's the one who talked about it. He's the one who wanted it. He believes he's a better fighter than Mikkel Kessler, and he's demanded the chance to prove it.
Denmark, the Viking Warrior, Mikkel Kessler!
Kessler, hewn from the same granite as Froch. 12 world title fights in the last 9 years. And he won't mind this hostile atmosphere, not a bit. Remember 6 years ago, he fought a peak Joe Calzaghe in front of 50,000 hostile fans in Cardiff and gave Calzaghe a tremendous argument.
This is a real class operator, and he feels that simply asking him to do something that he's already done, and that's beat Carl Froch. He's already beaten Carl Froch. He believes he is the better boxer than Froch. He's smoother, he puts punches together. Probably conventional boxing is superior to Froch, but that's not what's going to decide this tonight. Courage, strength, will to win is going to come into the equation here tonight, and I feel that's what's going to win. And everything that suited Mikkel Kessler in the first match suits Carl Froch tonight, and that's going to give Froch a huge edge.
See what the home advantage comes to. There's the tail of the tape. Froch is actually a year older, but the suggestion is he's a bit fresher. Kessler's had a longer career. Both the same height, both inside the 12-stone limit. Kessler, surprisingly, by 1.5 pounds. Froch with the reach advantage. He does have long arms. Kessler, you can see there, he's been a pro for 4 years longer. He's had 16 more fights, a few more rounds as well, and he's a puncher as well. 20 of Kessler's wins have come inside 3 rounds. The odds to this, Froch is a big favourite really for what was suggested as a 50-50 fight when it was announced, but Froch has the home advantage, maybe the momentum. That's why he's the 9-4 on favourite. 2-1 against if you like Kessler. And boxing royalty, MC Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will honor each champion with their respective national anthems. First, the national anthem for Denmark. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for God Save the Queen. Ladies and gentlemen, from the O2 Arena, London, England, Matchroom Sport and Team Sauerland are proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified IBF WBA super middleweight championship of the world. Sponsored by Betfair in association with Lonsdale. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. President and Chairman Charles Giles. General Secretary Robert Smith. The International Boxing Federation President Darryl Peoples. Supervisor Lindsey Tucker. The World Boxing Association President Gilberto Mendoza. Supervisor Mariana Borosova from Bulgaria. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring will be from the United States, Adelaide Bird. From Venezuela, Carlos Sucre. From France, Jean-Francois Taupin. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Pete Podgorski. And now, the officials are ready. The fighters are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? For the standing room only, sold out, thousands in attendance here at the O2, and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, with his head trainer Jimmy Montoya wearing blue with white. Official weight, 11 stone, 12 pounds, 7 ounces. As a professional in 48 fights, he has 46 victories, including 35 knockouts with 2 defeats. From Copenhagen, Denmark, the 5-time world champion and reigning, defending WBA super middleweight champion of the world, the Viking Warrior, Mikkel Kessler. And fighting out of the blue corner, with his head trainer, Rob McCracken, MBE, wearing black with silver, officially weighing in at 13 stone, 13 pounds, 9 ounces. As a professional, 32 fights, 30 victories, including 22 knockouts with only 2 defeats. He's a 3-time world champion, the fighting pride of Nottingham, Nottinghamshire, United Kingdom, the reigning, defending IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Carl the Cobra.
Referee Pete Pogorski from Chicago, USA. Will this be the same kind of gripping thriller these two produced 3 years ago in Denmark?
First and foremost, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch gloves, come out banging at the bell.
Well, you've heard all the talk, all the previews, the predictions, the threats, the theories. Sit back and enjoy what we hope might be another classic. Carl Froch against Mikkel Kessler for the WBA and IBF super middleweight championship of the world. Froch, as if you needed the identification, is in the black trunks. A feeling of a really, really big British boxing night here, Jim.
The biggest night we've had in Britain for a long, long time. Terrific matchup.
Let's see who can establish dominance. Froch was a slow starter 3 years ago. Didn't do much in the early rounds. Might have cost him as well. They can both hit. They can both take a punch. They've both got iron wills. And they've both passed any number of tests of their courage and quality. Something's got to give, though.
Yeah, probably of the two. Froch's boxing talents are underrated. He's difficult to hit. He measures range beautifully. And the new style he's adopted where he raids, puts punches together, fights in little bursts that works so well against Boutte. I wonder if that'll work against Kessler, but he can't afford to give him a start like he did last time.
Let's see if either one of these two can get the other one onto the back foot. Froch good with the jab early on, busy with it. The battle of the jabs might be important in setting up the rest of it. A good right hand from Froch as well, who started fast here. He thinks Kessler produced the fight of his life 3 years ago. He says, I wasn't quite at the races.
Froch is timing his jab quite well. It's not full-blooded yet, but it's landing already little red marks on Kessler's face. He's smiling, but I think that's a recognition of the fact that the jabs are landing.
Been smiling all week like a man who's seen it all before. There are some who think Kessler might be nearing retirement, that this might be his last fight, come what may. He's said things like that to his family, but I asked him about that. He says, I've said that for the last 4 fights. Don't worry about it. I'm in here, I'm ready, and I'm pitching, and I'm going to win.
Well, one solid jab and it's reddened Froch's nose already. He got his weight behind that. He doubled on the jab, landed the second one, but there, Froch again just slightly ahead in the battle of the jabs in this opening round. Right down to business.
Both with massive respect for each other. Away from the fight, they're pretty friendly, text each other. Forget that, though, last 3 months or so. Good right hand again from Froch, who produced that wonderful performance to destroy Lucien Boutte a year ago. Is he going to do something similar to that here? It would be a long shot, really, given Kessler's excellent record of durability.
You know, there have been times when we've criticised Froch for carrying his left so low, but I think that's the reason it's landing. I don't think Kessler sees it coming. Good shot from Froch. Terrific start from Froch. Confidence in everything he does.
He's taking control of it in this first round. And it's a few heavy shots there. That right hand, which comes from a long, long way back. Surprising. Kessler was surprised by that in the first fight. How far away he could land. A good punch there from Kessler, though. Well, that was Froch's opening session. Well, they're living every second of this.
Listen, you throw that left hook and you throw the jab all the time back at you. Don't even hit you on the nose, okay? Relax, okay? You settle down now?
Yeah, my jab's going in.
Yeah, your jab's coming in lovely, but listen, watch me to swing it. Don't rush it.
A terrific opening round, with Froch winning the battle of the jabs. They both landed solid shots, no full-blooded shots landed in the opening round, but Froch was timing the jab, and as I say, bringing it up from the thigh area. I don't think Kessler was seeing the punch coming. terrific opening round, right down to business. We didn't need a scouting mission because they've had 12 rounds, they've shared 12 rounds together already. So terrific, and a terrific start this time for Carl Froch.
Look at that in the first round. Froch landing 16 jabs to 1, according to the computer printout anyway. Here's the second round. Froch in the black trunks. Carl the Cobra. Froch, he calls himself, spent so long in the shadows of Joe Calzaghe, has now arrived as a major star. Sometimes Froch's boxing skills are a bit underrated. We saw that against Arthur Abraham.
Yeah, I think Kessler not really dealing with the jab as he would like to do. He can't slip inside it, so he's having to try and block it, then come back with counters, but not finding the range. So these tactics are really good from Froch, not allowing Kessler to set anything up.
Another thing you were trying to do here, Froch, is not stay in the zone too much, get his punches and then drift off to the side. That's what Robert McCracken and him have been working on, so that he doesn't take too much coming back. Let's see if that works.
Well, if Kessler wants success, he's going to have to put punches together. He's not winning the battle of the jabs. He's not getting close enough with his own jab, so he's going to have to let combinations go. Good right hand from Froch.
Froch is not a one-punch knockout artist, but he is very heavy-handed. Ask Boutte, ask Jermaine Taylor, who he stopped with 14 seconds to go in a dramatic end to one of his world title fights.
Well, a lot of punches blocked, are slightly out of range in the second round here so far. But Froch, his jab is still controlling what's happening.
That's the dominant punch in this so far, then a body shot as well. Kessler has only had 13 rounds of action in the last 3 years, and he was hit by that right hand by the temple as well. Just a bit frustrated, the Dane, I think, early on here.
The real speed in Froch's punching there. I think Kessler was stunned by that shot. It caught him high in the head. I think it stunned him. So Froch just wants to keep nice and calm and see if he can follow it up.
Froch is after him again here. He's nailed him with a couple. Buzzed him up with that shot, as Jim said earlier on, working off the jab, and that's working perfectly so far for Carl Froch.
Kessler got out of trouble there, but I think it was more by luck than technique or anything else. Froch just missed him with another huge right hand. He's troubled, his feet are unsteady. This is a huge round for Froch.
Listen to the crowd here as well. Froch on top early, but don't write off Kessler. He's been a good fighter for too long to maybe not find some answers. But these right hands are landing as well as the jabs, and that's a worry for the Dane. Well, Jim, Carl Froch told us, didn't he, pre-fight, that he was super sharp, in fantastic condition, and he was going to put on a huge performance. He said, I'm ready to explode. He started so fast here.
I think he's a different fighter since the Boutte fight. I think he realises at this level you can't give top-class fighters a couple of rounds of a start. So he's right down to work. He doesn't worry about the 12-round distance. But look at the solid jab, followed by the right hand. Caught him behind the ear, and that definitely scrambled him for the rest of the round. He didn't quite recover from that. A big round for Froch. Tactics are working beautifully.
He's going to get sharp in this round, so you've got to be first. 1-2 now. Yeah, 1-2. Jab, jab, right hand. Well, you've got to stop pushing into him. Do the 1-2s.
They do talk in that corner. Robert McCracken told me in the build-up to the fight, he said Carl Froch always says to him before the first bell, what do I do? It's like a little nervous idiosyncrasy. I mean, he knows full well what to do. You've seen it. Here's round 3 coming up. This much anticipated showdown at a packed O2 arena.
Kessler is struggling to get close because of the Froch jab. Even if it doesn't land, it's just breaking the concentration. He can't set his attacks up.
Kessler said they've got a plan, him and Jimmy Montoya, and they thought the plan would end with him knocking Froch out, but no sign of that so far, and he's just once or twice his balance hasn't looked that good, Kessler here.
Well, Froch is the one with the sharpness so far, and the jab is working a treat.
What we haven't seen is the trademark body shot, the right to the body of Kessler. He hasn't been able to get that in the contest yet.
He can't get close enough to get body shots off. He's not dealing with the jab of Carl Froch. That is the big difference in this fight tonight, is Carl Froch's jab is controlling the action.
And another punch going in there. There's a little bit of blood around Kessler's face as well, and he walked onto a left hand as well. All going the Englishman's way so far, but one punch from Kessler might just turn the tide. It's that kind of equation that we've got here.
I think Froch is causing Kessler to do things he wouldn't normally do. He's leaping in with these punches. You know, the silky skills that we're used to seeing from him are not working. He's having to come up with something else. And he just cannot deal with the jab of Froch.
He's being very clever, Froch, as well. He's often landing it and then getting away out of range again. Good footwork.
That was a big jab from Froch there. That was solid. Yeah. That was a hurtful jab.
Just looking at a little marked up as well. Kessler maybe too from eating this. He wants to get the body shot in close range, but at the moment Froch is keeping him away, almost in another postal district.
I don't think Froch has made a single mistake since the first bell. It's so controlled, the concentration, every move is measured. Terrific stuff from him.
Just a bit bamboozled so far. Mikkel Kessler, the Great Dane. Putting the combinations together quite sweetly at times as well when the mood takes him. Froch changing the angle all the time. Another Froch round, he's pulling away. Let's hear what former world champion Richie Woodall is making of it with Ed Robinson.
Well, a slow start last time and a very fast start this time from Carl.
Yeah, masterclass display at this stage from Carl Froch. It's a battle of the jabs at the moment, and Carl is clearly winning it. What's happening with Kessler is he's too far out and he's misjudging that pace and also that distance. He's falling short, but the jab is fantastic from Froch. Now I want to see him bring in the long straight right hand, but the jab for me is working, and throwing it from the hip, it's very difficult to see for Kessler, so it's one-way traffic for me at the moment.
What will Kessler do now?
Kessler might come forward now. He might revert to that toe-to-toe, trying to drag Carl into a toe-to-toe battle. That might even suit Carl Froch, but at the moment Carl's winning well behind that jab, and he's just got to keep doing it.
Are you surprised Carl's dominating with that jab?
No, I'm not really, because he's doing it from the centre of the ring, and that's what he's got to keep doing, Ed.
Thanks, Richie.
Round 4. Thanks, Richie. That's the trademark punch of the fight so far. Here's round 4. Froch in the black trunks. Remember, 35 years of age. He'll be 36 in July, but he somehow seems fresh and still super motivated, as if there are another big fights and big money. Right-handed again. He's buzzed up by that. Kessler, that shot looked off balance when it landed.
It was a good shot, but I think their feet got a little bit tangled, but it doesn't matter. The jabs are solid. And Kessler is looking confused. He doesn't know how to deal with it.
Whatever Kessler's game plan was coming in, they are not able to make it work so far. So what does he do about that? What's plan B for Kessler?
Well, throwing single punches, he's coming off second best. He's going to have to put them together. So he's going to have to punch as he goes forward, put 3s and 4 punches out. Single shots are missing, and he's been eating the jab. Good job there from Kessler. Yeah, just a bit better upper body movement for him at the moment. Just trying to slit the jab. If he can manage to do that, it would be halfway there to some success.
Kessler wouldn't mind if this became a bit of a barroom brawl at some point, but it can't become that all the time. Froch is just keeping him at arm's length like this.
This is better work at the moment from the Kessler. He's getting close now. His upper body movement, he's trying to find ways of dealing with the jab. There he goes. That Good left hook there.
There's a good body punch in there, mind you, from Froch as well.
Yeah, but there's improvement in Kessler's one.
That's more like it from Kessler. That's more like what we were seeing. He is getting that little bit closer. Might this still develop into the slugfest many predicted?
Double jab there from Kessler, the second one landed. So he's a fighter who can think his way around things. I think he was shocked at the boxing style that Froch has brought into the fight here, but he's beginning now to cope with it and deal with it.
Froch got there with a body shot and Kessler a better one. This is a little better from Kessler. It had to improve for him because the rounds were rather draining away from him.
Well, we knew Kessler would not settle for second place. He had to come up with something special, and he's trying to do that here. Yeah, good jab again from Kessler.
Didn't get there with the left hook. It only hit the arms of Froch, whose footwork is good. He's getting out of range quite cleverly at times as well.
Kessler slipping punches now that he wasn't doing earlier. Big improvement in Kessler in that round.
Well, what a scene at the splendid O2 Arena. It's a great venue for boxing, as it is for many other events. Better from Kessler.
That should be the last time he hits you with jabs, okay? Yeah. Don't load up, you're loading up. Get the jab on him. Get the jab on him sharply, and the 1-2, and then counter him. He's going to keep targeting you here if you hold your feet, okay? Yeah. So you're right. Okay.
Well, Kessler had to improve, and he did improve. He found a way to get past the jab. He was slipping, he was doubling up his own jab, just looking for answers, and at last finding some.
We need a good round behind the jab and the 1-2s now, really sharp. You with me?
A little bit of bruising underneath that left eye. Rising excitement, and one or two signs in that fourth round of the plot just starting to thicken. Kessler looked like he was at last slipping into some kind of gear.
And he's stepping in with the jab now, Kessler, finding the extra couple of inches that's needed. So Froch has been sent out to dominate with the jab again, but it won't be so easy now. Kessler has it warmed into the task.
He's too good a fighter, I was thinking that, to let it carry on like that. He was bound to be able to do something about it. And there's a left hook, a good shot from Kessler, and a body punch as well. Different equation now.
Froch is kind of pawing a little bit with the jab. We want to see the snap. See, he's just pushing that jab out now. That's not the jab he was throwing in the first couple of rounds. Big jab from Kessler. Froch needs to put more snap into the jab.
Kessler starting to find some answers, and starting with the left hook was a good shot as well. He started this round very well, the WBA champion from Denmark. Not really ramming home the jab as he was earlier on, and out of range with that one.
The action's just settled down for a second here. Both trying to come up with something different. But certainly big shots from Kessler.
Setting the sweat spraying from Froch's head. It was a big right hand, and this fellow can hit as well. You don't want to be hit by too many of those. Froch digs deep. He's sucked it up so many times. Sometimes you feel these guys are made of metal. There were feelings like that when you saw them fight the first time.
Well, I had the feeling that Kessler would have to punch on the way in. He was trying to get close, and he started doing that in the last couple of rounds, and it's paying off for him. His defence was nice and tight there. Yeah, good upper body movement again from Kessler. Close round, this one.
Got good speed, and he catches Froch to the body as well. Definite signs here of Kessler getting a foothold. He is behind early, though. Crowd engrossed in the drama.
I mean, sometimes Froch's attacks look a little bit crude, but they're very effective, and he has tremendous physical strength that he brings into the game.
He's come back well, hasn't he, Froch, in the round after Kessler's good start. Raises the question, has Kessler got 3 hard minutes and finishes the round? Kessler with the last word.
Now you're waking up, man.
Jimmy Montoya working in the corner with Mikkel Kessler. There's been around 15 world champions, including a man you know very well, Alexis Arguello, the late Alexis Arguello, Salvador Sanchez, Hector Macho Camacho, and many others. Tony the Tiger Lopez. It's been around the business.
Yep, and he certainly fired Kessler up. I mean, we knew Kessler would come back with something. He's too classy a fighter to let continue what happened in the first couple of rounds, and what he did in that round was terrific. Great response from Froch for about a half-minute spell, but I still think Kessler had the better of things over the 3 minutes. Terrific fight.
You need good rounds all the time here. Keep looking away, defend the straight shots, defend all. Let's go.
6th round. Froch definitely put the first 3 in the bank. You might be able to argue about the 4th. I think Kessler won the 5th. 6th round coming up here. Black trunks, remember. Carl Froch, the fighting pride of Nottingham.
Froch again just kind of pushing the jab at the start of the 6th round here. He wants to snap it out the way he was doing earlier. That's good stuff.
Putting the punching combinations together as well. He's won that jab battle early on in the fight, maybe crucially.
Oh, that was low. That was well low.
Kessler gets boos from the crowd, and he'll get as long as he wants to recover from that. Froch, he could have as much as 5 minutes if he wanted to. He's unlikely to take anything like that.
But that really was low. That was in the danger area. That was hurtful.
And a right hand straight away, and then a left as well. Kessler took advantage as Froch just wandered back into action after that little gap in the action.
Froch just struggling to pin him down with that attack.
It's absolutely intriguing, this, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, this is more intense than their first meeting. There was a lot of kind of scouting rounds in their first meeting, but this is terrific stuff.
Kessler trying to find a way back.
Switching from head to body there, Kessler.
And terrific 4-punch combination from the Dane. He does look dangerous, but remember, Froch has only ever been down once in his career.
Yeah, but so far the quality punches that you remember have come from Kessler in this round. Not much to split them, and the amount of punches each man has landed, but real quality, powerful shots from Kessler.
Yes, eye-catching punches in bunches here and there from Kessler. Mainly the jab still from Froch, who tries to set up another attack.
See Kessler putting the shots together, that's what he has to do. He was struggling to land earlier, but he's found the answer. Oh, these are vicious punches from Kessler again.
Getting onto the inside a bit more, isn't he now? Starting to get the body attack working. He took out Ireland's Brian McGee in 3 rounds like that in his latest world title fight. Kessler with a body attack.
Well, a close round, but I think Kessler landed the better punches in that round.
Let's get some more views from Richie Woodall.
Well, Kessler's right back in it, isn't he, Richie?
Yeah, he's getting back into it now. What he's actually doing now, he's counter-punching on the front foot. I think the pace is affecting Carl a little bit than what it is Kessler. He set a good pace, did Carl, but he slowed down a little bit, and that jab slowed down, and that's allowed Kessler then to counter-punch on the front foot, and now he's starting to catch him with the right hand. What's really important for Carl Froch is to get back to that crisp, sharp left jab and keep his distance a little bit. Kessler's timing is getting better and better because he's getting closer and closer, so Carl has got to keep it very, very sharp.
Carl's been pouring with the jab a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, it started off really, really fast, didn't it? But it's slowing down, and that's what Kessler needs to land that right-hand counter.
Thank you, Richie.
Moving into the second half of the contest here. This is the 10th consecutive World Championship fight that Froch has fought over the last 4.5 years, and nearly all of them against top men. You can have a look at Jim Watt's scorecard in a second.
I've got it level, first 3 to Froch. The 4th was debatable. That was when Kessler's work started to improve. It was a very close, tough round to score. That could have gone either way. I gave Kessler the benefit of the doubt, so I've got it level. So Froch, it's just his grip has slackened a little bit on the action.
He may want to just re-establish himself a little in this round, Froch, because the momentum in the fight just at the moment might be with Kessler. Back to the jab again, not with the same round rod quality he had earlier on, mind you, but these are scoring punches. And they're keeping Kessler off balance, preventing him from launching attacks. You see he's out of range there as he tries to leap in with the left hook.
Well, I just think Froch needs a round where he just stops the rot a little bit. Just does not allow Kessler to do anything effectively. This is good stuff. He's nullifying the attacks now. Kessler can't get close. This is a little bit more like what we're seeing in the first 3 rounds. Good boxing here from Froch, not taking anything.
Set that right hand. Right as you said that bit. Point taken, Jim. Until then, that had been the strong left hook. That just sent Kessler looking a bit open, didn't it?
It's kind of forcing his punches a little bit, Froch. You know, they're just a little bit cumbersome. He's not matching Kessler for sharpness, but he's got his show back on the road, I feel, in this round. He's got the jab working again.
And boxing very, very smoothly here. Froch in this round, dominating it again with the jab. Back to what we were seeing, really, in rounds 1, 2 and 3.
I think he's using the jab more in this round to fend Kessler off and stop him doing anything, as opposed to creating damage or causing damage with it. So he wants a little bit more snap into it. He wants to use it more as a weapon, like he was doing earlier. Just clashing together there. Kessler's defensive boxing is good as well. Good stuff there from Froch.
Yeah, 3-punch combination, body then head to finish it off, and then another right hand. And Kessler's hot. Yeah, a little bit off balance, wasn't he there? But he comes back with a big right. Another left from Froch. Now this is like what we were watching in the last 3 rounds in Herning, Denmark 3 years ago. Another massive right from Froch. These punches, though, somehow just keep bouncing off these guys who are teak tough. Oh, tremendous action in the last 30 seconds. Nobody wants their money back here.
That was a terrific round. That's where they both laid it on the table there. Huge punches from both men. But what I did notice was Froch's punches were the ones that had the effect. Kessler's punches bounced off of Froch's jaw, but Kessler was forced onto the defensive when Froch caught him cleanly. So it looks as though the strength and the power is with Froch. So if this fight goes into the trenches round about now, as we expect it to do, Froch may be the one who's better equipped for that. But that was a terrific round. Best round of the fight by far.
Especially the last 30 seconds. Somewhere in the middle of a build-up to this fight, Carl Froch, his wife Rachel Cordingley, gave birth to a second child, Natalia. Carl had to dash from a sparring session and got there with about an hour to go. Here we go with round 8 of this one. Froch was good in that 7th, but Kessler's not done with yet. How deep can he dig, Kessler, if he is flirting with the idea of retirement somewhere soon? It's only a question.
Oh, good left hook from Froch. Froch is not caring about defences. Look where both his hands are there. This is crazy.
Great right hand from Kessler there. Very, very quick he is with it too. He's always boxed with that left hand low, hasn't he? Froch right through his career. Hasn't done him too much harm so far, of course. Beautiful punch from Froch. Picked that well. And look at Kessler here with a show of bravado. Come on then, he says. You want a bit more of it.
He has a terrific chin, Carl Froch. And that was a solid left hook he took there. Just walked right through it.
Crowd on their feet here now. This is what they expected to see between these two. Oohs and ahs ringing around the O2.
Well, I think in previous fights, Froch has saved something for the later rounds. He's not doing it now. Great right hand from him.
Starting to get in with some heavy shots. Under fire a bit, Kessler. Not a lot coming back. Rights, left. Bad moments these for the Dane.
He looked very slow there, Kessler. Didn't see the punches coming. Didn't get away from them. Big round for Froch if this continues.
He looks in control at the moment. Froch, he has that body language. Less coming back. Oh, the right hand was a great shot from Kessler, mind you. Another little snarl of defiance from him. But it has been another Froch round, this one.
Yeah, and Froch walks through the right hand as though the punch missed. Amazing chin he has.
Another good right hand. It's dispiriting as well. He wanted to lean on, didn't he, for a moment there and buy a second or two. Kessler. Is the gas starting to run out a little for him?
I think this is the section of the fight that's going to decide who wins this. And at the moment it's looking like Carl Froch. This is where a heart has been broken in this round.
Big right hand from Froch. Kessler still tries to find something, but this might be the decisive round. But look at Kessler come on strong late in the session.
It is demoralising.
Another big right. They both landed. Absolutely spellbinding action between these two yet again.
Ian, it's demoralising when the other guy is hurting you but walks right through your best shots. That round may have broken Kessler's heart.
He did seem to wilt. There isn't a spare seat. They think Froch has this in control, but I tell you something, Kessler's dangerous every second he's left in there.
Ian, he's dangerous, but his punches are bouncing right off. He's landed his best punches in that round. Froch has taken them, marched through them, and hurt him every time he lands cleanly. Kessler has massive problems here. He would have to change, he would have to use his boxing skills to look for a poised victory, and he won't do that.
Crisis in there. The referee went over in between the rounds. Coming up to round 9. This is the period of the fight that Froch predicted he would stop Kessler in. Around this time, he said, 8, 9, 10.
Well, Kessler has tried to do the way he normally does, and it hasn't worked. Froch has come through his best punches, so he's going to have to try something else. He's going to have to be able to outbox Carl Froch, but I don't think he has what needed in the tank to do that.
Kessler tries to get his jab going. He is a man of amazing fighting heart, Mikkel Kessler. He's almost as big a name in Denmark as David Beckham is in England.
And still that jab is preventing him from setting in. A good couple of good punches off there. Froch just wants a little bit more snap in the jab. If he's going to throw it, put a little bit behind it.
He put a lot into that last round. Froch. Quietish start to this one. But he did look on the edge of maybe breaking Kessler's will a little in that last session. Or was it just a bad period for Kessler? Is there more still from him?
No, I think the punches he took were bad enough, but the fact that Froch walked right through his best shots must have been demoralising. Well, this is the pace that Kessler wants. It was too hot for him in the previous round. At this kind of pace, he can get his silky skills back into the equation.
Made to miss there, Froch a little embarrassingly, but he has been very, very sharp tonight. Good right hand from Kessler there on the counter.
Kessler's got the pace dropped down, and that's what he needed. It was far too hot for him in the previous round. This is clever stuff. So Froch just wants to start controlling the action and the pace again.
Trainer Jimmy Montoya wanted a bit more movement from Kessler. He's getting hit a bit too much, too often in this fight. Not enough head movement from him. Whatever these two are earning, it's not enough. There's a fusion of spirit between fighters on nights like this almost. They've done this now a couple of times together.
We've seen a terrific show of character from Kessler in this round. Looked as though he was on his way out of there.
Yeah, that suited Kessler that last round, a little bit quieter. Maybe Froch had put a lot into the previous round. He almost took the round off, but he might still have nicked it, mind you. There's the computer printout. Froch has landed 193 to Kessler's 107 so far, they say.
Yeah, well, we won't argue with that, but that was the pace where Kessler could bring in his silky skills, had time to slip the jab that Froch was throwing and come back, you know, with combinations. Froch missing with a lot of punches in that round. It was a close round, case for both men, but Froch has to raise the tempo again. Put another big dent into Mikkel Kessler. He's capable of it. He's going to have to do it again.
10th round of an excited O2 arena in East London. 10th round. Jim's scorecard will be revealed to you in a second. There it is.
Yeah, but Froch up. Kessler trimmed it back in the previous round. But the pace suited him, so Froch wants to just raise things, use his strength, and impose himself on Kessler now, because he's the boss. He has the strength to do it, and he has plenty left in the tank.
I've got Froch a little further clear myself. He's in the black trunks. Marked up around the face. He's had eye trouble in the past. Kessler, career-threatening eye trouble. Damage to his optic nerve. He wondered if he'd ever fight again. Happily, it healed for him. But it was a huge problem. He was out for 14 months after the first fight between these two.
Another low one. Froch not complaining about it. Typical. Froch getting the punches off again, but walking onto the left hip again. He walks right through it. That must be breaking Kessler's heart.
Like so many other fighters before, you hit Froch and there is no effect, and that is dispiriting for anybody. Mind you, he did it in the first fight and Froch took it all, but Kessler still got the decision, didn't he, that night?
Well, I think it's always been uphill for Kessler tonight. He's always been chasing this. I have him trimming it tight in my scorecard at the moment, but he's always been the one chasing it, and he's not winning this round.
A little hint of the inside of the glove about the last punch, but it was a flashy combination, sort of thing the judges like. But back comes left hand from Froch in the middle of all that, as Kessler's tried to stage the rally, and that stopped it right at source almost.
Every time Froch lands cleanly, Kessler has to go into the defensive, has to stop what he's doing. Froch's punches are the ones that are having the impact. Kessler's are not really troubling Froch in the slightest.
But they're scoring punches all the same.
But Froch just seems capable of taking it away from Kessler whenever he chooses. Nice little combination there from Kessler, but knocked onto his heels.
Mustn't get too careless about it, Froch, though. Again, the jab setting up the attack for Froch. It's been the key to this whole fight, really, so far tonight. Right from the word go. Well, let's join Ed Robinson again with Richie Woodall for further comments.
Well, 6 minutes of action potentially to go. How are you scoring it, Richie?
I've still got Carl Froch a couple rounds up, to be quite honest, Ed, but I think we're reaching a stage of this contest now where psychologically they're both being tested, and there's that great old quote from Muhammad Ali: the will must be greater than the skill, and that's what we're getting to now. The will must be greater than the skill, and I think Carl Froch is going to step. I just think that he looks like he wants it a little bit more than Kessler does. I think questions are starting to be asked in his mind, in Kessler's mind, and Froch now, I'm expecting him now to push on and win this contest over these next 2 rounds.
And of course, home advantage must help.
Oh, it's going to be massive, but these next 2 or 3 rounds are, well, it's going to win the fight, isn't it? But for me, Froch is going to do it.
Cheers, Richie.
By the way, the judges are Adelaide Bird of the United States, Carlos Sucre from Venezuela, who judged the Frank Bruno-Tim Witherspoon fight back in 1986, and also Jean-Francois Tupin of France. They will decide. Getting into the home stretch of this now. And once Kessler sees the finishing take, that might just lift him a little bit, you know, Jim.
Well, Froch is known for a strong finish in his fights, but I think that the reason for that is that he saves something up. He starts slowly and conserves his energy. Well, he hasn't done that tonight. He started quickly, won the 3 rounds right off the reel, but he's still looking straight. His legs are looking terrifically strong, and he's still bossing the action. Look, there's an arrogance and a strut about him at the moment. This is terrific from him.
Good little left hook on the inside from Mikkel Kessler. Froch has done a lot of his training for this fight with the young guns up in the Sheffield gym where the successful British amateur team operate. It's Robert McCracken also associated with them too. Nice left hook, wasn't it, from Kessler there. There's some fast hands. Oh, lovely right hand there from Carl Froch.
And every time he lands cleanly, Kessler has to stop and think about it. Can't afford to take another one.
He looks totally unmarked as well, or nearly, Froch, remarkably for a contest of this nature where Kessler's a bit marked up around the face. Two magnificent warriors of the modern era in there.
Yeah, Froch is fighting in little spots here and there, which is sensible, because this has been a pace all the way through. The action there's never been a lull. What a terrific performance from Carl Froch.
Lovely countering right there from Kessler. It's hurt Froch. That buzzed him up. Kessler knows it, follows him with 4, 5, 6 punches. Bad moment for Froch. That one had an effect, Jim.
Yep, you saw the legs actually crossed when they landed, but he's recovered. And that's what fitness and a good chin is about, recovering.
Eye damage as well for Froch. He's cut by the left eye in that attack. Kessler is still a menace in there. Little change in the plot line again. There's Froch's answer to all of that.
Typical Carl Froch response. He was winning the round up to that little debacle, and he's back on top again.
but he was hurt in that round. Froch, and it takes a good punch to hurt him. Kessler found one.
Yeah, it looked as though his legs actually crossed. He didn't quite know where he was for a split second, but a tough chin doesn't mean you don't get hurt. It means you recover quickly.
Let's hear the corner.
Are you listening? He's coming back with that right hand left hook. You can't miss him with the 1-2 and the right hand counter. Listen to me, listen to me. Let's have a real smart round where you can
Right. I mean, that was the story of the round up to that point, with Froch bossing things again. But bang, the punch caught him high. And you can see the effect in his face straight away. We didn't quite see what happened with his legs.
The final 3 minutes of another magnificent contest between Carl Froch and Mikkel Kessler. They touch gloves. Don't worry, they'll be in contact tomorrow morning, texting each other about this. But for 3 more minutes, it's still a mighty battle between them for supremacy. As Froch got a big finish in him. Told to concentrate all the time. Listen to the crowd here. Thunderous noise reverberating around this arena. Looked like Kessler was on the brink of going about 3 rounds ago, but he hasn't.
Yep, it looked to me as though his heart had been broken, but we should have known better when you look through this guy's history. We called them Warriors, and that's what they are.
Yeah, it was the 8th round, that what looked like the pivotal breakthrough round. Kessler's come back pretty well from that. But my impression is of Froch winning this fight, Jim.
Yep, he's the one. He's staying in there in the exchanges. He's bossing the exchanges. Quality punches. And he's landing the big shots that have the effect. He's been able to march straight through everything that Kessler has thrown at him. Does it again.
I wonder if Froch is thinking now, his boxing brain's telling him, I might need the knockout here away from home, whether he'll really go for it in the last minute and throw everything but everything at Froch. Froch, I think, will kind of know that might happen.
He's walked onto the jab there, Froch.
Right hand was a good-looking shot. So Froch took that, sucked that up like he has so much else. Just a little bit more ragged from Froch there, but he got there with that left hand, didn't he? Right cross as well, just covered up for a moment. What a tremendous fight again between these two gladiators.
And what a show of heart from Mikkel Kessler there. I mean, he's near exhaustion here. These punches have a far bigger effect than they had earlier in the fight. There was another huge right hand from Froch. Terrific last round. What a finisher Froch is.
It's the grandstand action, this. Inside the last half a minute, and they're still at it, these two. It is a shootout now. Thunderous action. Froch pounding in big punches. Kessler's hurt in the closing seconds of the contest.
I thought the referee was stepping in there, Ian. He looked as though he was stepping in. Froch was, Kessler was all over the place there. Huge finish for Froch.
You could hardly hear the bell at the end of that. It was every bit as good as we thought it would be.
I think Kessler was on the verge of being stopped there. Looking at the referee's body language, I thought he was going to step in and stop the fight. Kessler was all over the place. He was taking full-blooded punches without reply. But his experience, you know, his survival mode kicked in and he managed to get through it. But a terrific performance from start to finish from Carl Froch. I have him 4 points up. I had it close up to the halfway stage. But from there on in, Carl Froch was magnificent.
Yeah, I've got Froch as a handy winner as well. There's your scorecard, Jim. The jab did it really, set it all up, but that is only just the beginning of a fascinating story. His mum's in there as well. Rob McCracken, the excellent trainer. What a night. We thought it would be. a very good night for professional boxing as well,
yeah,
it should be said.
And two real sportsmen in there as well. The way they've conducted themselves before the fight, from the moment the fight was announced.
Jim, nearly well over 1,000 punches thrown.
From Froch alone, nearly 1,000.
Yeah, nearly, yeah. Landed more. Better success rate, Kessler.
Yeah, because he wasn't throwing as many punches as Froch. He was trying to be more accurate, if you like. But what a terrific battle, and I think that I've got Froch winning handily, and I think the stats fully support that.
Froch landed over 100 more head punches. I think it was another case here of fantastic Mr. Froch. But we await the decision. You never can tell.
Well, Carl Froch has taken a totally different attitude into fights these days since the Boutte fight. He starts at the first bell, he gets the early rounds in the bank, and that's what he did tonight. Rounds 1, 2 and 3, he was terrific. Kessler could not cope with the jab, but we're thinking then that it was going to be one-way traffic, that maybe Kessler didn't have half of what he used to have. But then rounds 4, 5 and 6, Kessler come back into things. He found the answers. Good upper body movement. He was slipping the jabs. He was putting punches together and got himself right back into the fight again. Suddenly it was Froch was the one who the questions were being asked of. Round 7 was the start when he just had to dig in, bite down on the gum shield and just do a little bit more than what Kessler was doing. And the big difference for me in the second half of the fight, Froch landed full-blooded shots, no effect. Sorry, Kessler landed with no effect. Froch, every time he landed clean, he forced Kessler onto the defensive. But this time, Kessler needed the knockout, and I think he knew it. Throwing everything at Froch, but Froch stood firm, took his bumps, and come back with better. That was the little shot from Kessler when you thought maybe he had Froch in trouble. But Froch is in great shape, so he recovers straight away. And then this is where, look at the referee here. I thought the referee was actually stepping in. There was no reason to break them up. I think the referee was on the verge of stopping Mikkel Kessler there. What a result that would have been, but I don't think he needs it. What a result anyway.
Here is the decision now from Michael Buffer. Remember, Froch has never lost in Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. A round of applause for champion versus champion. This was boxing, and this is the score. Adelaide Bird, 118 to 110. Carlos Sucre, 116 to 112. Jean-François Toupin, 115 to 113. All three judges scored to the winner by unanimous decision. The Fighting Pride of the United Kingdom, and now the unified super-middleweight champion of the world, the Cobra.
Amazing scenes here. The judges had it by 8 points on one card, 4 on the second, only 2 on the French judges card. But it is a stellar ticker-tape night for Carl Froch. One of his greatest victories, and revenge is served not cold but piping hot over Mikkel Kessler. What a night, Jim.
Well, Froch wanted the fight right from the start. He felt he was the better fighter than Mikkel Kessler. It always rankled with him that he lost his undefeated record and his world title to Kessler. He always wanted to set the record straight. So I wonder, what will his next plan be? Will it be Andre Ward again? The way he's boxing these days, the way he's performing, what he's putting in to his boxing, you have to give him a far better chance next time than he had last time against Ward.
He looks better than ever, doesn't he, at the age of 35? He's improving.
I think since the Boutte performance where his career was on the line, he fought that night as though it was on the line, and he's fought that way every time since. If you remember the last 2 rounds against Andre Ward, if he had produced that kind of form in maybe the 7th, 8th round, maybe it would have been a different result. Remember, the points were close. So he's a man who looks for a challenge. There are not too many challenges at this weight division, apart from Andre Ward. And he is huge in America, remember, Carl Froch.
There's some talk, isn't there, of Bernard Hopkins, the ageless Bernard Hopkins wanting a fight with Froch. That would sell, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would sell. I don't want that. I don't want that. I think Bernard Hopkins...
We might not decide, Jim.
No, of course. But I think Bernard is more to be appreciated than enjoyed these days. He's never really in good fights. Carl Froch wants to excite. I would rather see a return with Andre Ward.
We have no trouble at all selling that. Would Ward come to Brittany's here tonight, I think, with HBO somewhere. Kessler went out on his shield, no doubt about that. Froch lost it 3 years ago, but he was an emphatic winner, really, there tonight in another thriller. It's the first time he's had that WBA belt, by the way. He's had the WBC and the IBF. Now he's close to the set, isn't he? Oh, it's a great night. Carl Froch has won, and it was just pulsating.
Brilliant, breathtaking, and 18,000 fans here at the O2. Stood as one when Michael Buffer announced the decision. Fantastic, fantastic night. Johnny Nelson, amazing just being a part of that.
We nearly wrecked this set, jumping up and down. It was that exciting, everything you expected. I'd say better than the first one because there was a lot more rounds where there was action toe-to-toe. Both fighters showed so much heart and battle. Maximum respect to both fighters.
Fitting that both of them sit down to do the interview. Let's hear from them both now, talking to Ed.
Well, huge respect and credit to both of you, but Carl, you get revenge. How does it feel?
It feels really, really good. The only thing that feels bad is the fact that I've had to beat such a nice gentleman in Mikkel Kessler and a real good sportsman. Hands together for Mikkel, please. A real warrior, a real nice man, you know, but was in there to do business. He was trying to hurt me, and on a couple of occasions he did hurt me. I think everybody saw that. But I hurt him a lot more and caught him with a lot cleaner shots. I deserved to win. I thought the fight was unanimously my fight. I was close to getting the stoppage towards the end, and when I went in for the finish, what did he do? He fought back and caught me with big, hard, hurtful shots. So it shows what kind of man he is. He's not going to lie down for anybody, and big respect to him. But I'm really, really happy, and I'd just like to say, Rachel at home, I love you, darling. I'll be back soon.
Mikkel, how tough was it in there?
It was very tough with a good crowd he has here at home. In O2, it's not nice to come into such arena when just when it's not your own people. But it's nice to see so many boxing fans here. But still, I knew there were a lot of Danish people at home, and I want to thank them very much for supporting me. I gave it all. I was tired in the end. And I hurt Carl in the 11th round very hard, but I couldn't follow. I hadn't the energy to it. So it was a very tough fight and very tough coming over here. But it's nice to fight a warrior who wants to fight.
Carl, why was it so different to the first fight in so many ways?
I think Mikkel Kessler made the mistake about 4 weeks ago. No, it was about 8 weeks ago, of telling me that my arms are too long. And he hates my jab. He made a mistake telling me that because I've been working on the long jab, I've been working on sticking it in his face, and I kept him at range with the jab all night long. I didn't often throw the right hand. And then when I did throw the right hand, it snuck in there and it hurt him, but obviously I got counter-punched back. But I think the difference was my work rate. I was light on my feet, and obviously, first time I boxed him, I wasn't 100% right with flying in there, but no excuses. We've made it right. It's one apiece. Who knows? Do you fancy a third one?
Yes! Oh, shit. Where's it going to be?
Best of three. It's 1-1, best of three.
Where's it going to be on the island?
I'll have to have a word with Eddie Hearn, but I mean, everybody enjoyed that. We're really pleased, pair of us. I'm sure Mikkel will speak for him as well, to put on a real good show. So everybody who's paid money for the tickets, thank you very, very much. And everybody at home on Sky Sports box office, thank you.
What did you make of the reception you got here, Carl?
Oh, the reception was phenomenal. I think everybody that would have been at the Nottingham Arena has came down today, plus everybody else in the country who's supporting me is here. So, you know, it's 2 times Nottingham Arena. The atmosphere was unbelievable. The best atmosphere I've ever boxed in front of. So thank you for that. But it's the pinnacle of my life. It really is. Unbelievable.
2 losses on your record. You've managed to clear up one of them. Andre Ward's here. Is that a target for you?
Well, I said before this fight, the winner of this fight should really be concentrating on moving on and avenging their other loss. And my only other loss is against pound for pound number 2 in the world, Andre Ward. What a fantastic fighter he is. It's very, very tricky and awkward. He's not a fighting man like Mikkel. I watched him fight Mikkel yesterday. I watched the video back on that, and I see what Andre Ward was doing with the jab and with his busy hands to beat Mikkel. So I took a lot from that fight. But Andre Ward's there to be beat, trust me. But not over in America. I think over here, I boxed him in the USA. Let's get him over to England, and we've got a different result, I can assure you.
Eddie Hearn, is that a fight you could deliver for the UK?
Yeah, possibly. You know, after the camp he's been through and the 12 brutal rounds in there, it's time for a little rest for Carl Froch, but we'll look at the future. But, you know, this is why boxing is one of the purest sports in the world. 2 absolute gentlemen, 2 warriors, a credit to their sport, Mikkel Kessler and Carl Froch. Unbelievable.
Well done, all of you.
Have to echo those sentiments. 2 gentlemen. What a performance, what a fight. Reaction from Johnny Nelson, from Glenn McCrory and from David Hay on the way as Carl Froch conquers Kessler at the 2nd time of asking.